Hi, this video is all about the S&P UK Dividend Aristocrat ETF. I'm going to take a quick whistle-stop tour through what the aims and objectives are of this ETF, have a look at the performance over the last few years, and look at some of the holdings and the breakdown by sector that we have. Reason I'm going to do this video is recently I did another video on UK Dividend Aristocrat stocks, and I came up with the top 10, and they came from this ETF. So I thought, why not do a wider overview? It also gives you something else that you could potentially have a look at, and doing a little bit of comparison between the Vanguard High Yield Dividend ETF VHYL. Hi, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, hi, I'm Mark of Desperately Seeking Fi. Today we're using the State Street Global Advisors SPTR website to have a look at the UK Dividend Aristocrat ETF. This one is a distributing fund, so in reality you are going to get your dividends paid out to you as an income, and they will come in March and September, so there's only a biannual payment for this this ETF, which is slightly different to the VHYL that you would be looking at marrying this up and comparing against. What do we see on this page? We see quick overview. So to buy one single stock of this ETF, you're looking at £10.18 as at the time the market's closed, and assets under management just over 110 million. What's really important and shown here is the total expense ratio. So this is how much it will cost you to actually hold this fund. That's your annual fee. Depending on which platform you're on will depend whether or not you have a platform fee as well. But things like Trading 212 do not charge you to buy this ETF. What else we have on here? We've just got on the right hand side, we've got some quick links to the fact sheet, the KID and the prospectus. I recommend that you go away, have a quick look at that. What's really important is knowing what this is all about. So this fund's objective is to track performance of high yielding dividend that are issued by companies within the UK. And if we look at the description, that goes down into a little bit more detail and looks at high yield dividend aristocrat index and takes the 40 highest dividend yielding companies that sit on the S&P European Broad Market Index. They have a few other things that are thrown into the mix that mean they need to have increasing or stable dividends for at least 7 consecutive years. That isn't quite correct, because when you have a look at some of the companies on here, some of them have had dips. But when you then look a little bit further in detail, you'll actually see that those dips are because of different frequencies, etc., of dividends, which sort of knock things off a little bit. On fund characteristics, it talked about the top 40. It's actually got 38 holdings, and 2 days ago when I looked at it, it had 39. So things move around quite a bit. You've got an average book to price of 1.68, and you've got price to earnings ratio for financial year, and that average is running at about 15.15, which is below where the S&P 500 is. As at the 19th of January, you've got a index dividend yield of 3.94, and that compares relatively similarly to VHYL, which according to Dividend Max has a dividend yield of 3.9%, so they are very much of a muchness. And VHYL's ongoing charge is 0.29, so it is slightly cheaper. Looking at the fund's performance, if we go way out and look at it over the last 11 years, it's sort of about 4% up. And if you look at sort of that variation, 5 years, just a little bit less. 10 years, just a little bit less. 5 years, just about breaking even. If we go out to the 3 years, it's down 4%. 8% in the last year, not surprising if we think of how badly dividend stocks have been hit. And then looking at in the last 3 months, obviously we've had a little bit of a bump over the last few weeks, so you're looking at a 6% rise on that. And then if we have a look over a number of different years, we get to see the fund's performance looking like this. Some years slightly better than others. We probably would have expected 2018 and 2020 and 21 to be slightly negative given what was going on in those 3 years. Top holdings that we have within the fund look like this. So this is a top 10, and this has changed since I did the video last week. You have supermarket income rate has moved up and replaced primary health properties. What you can do is you can have a quick look at the actual holdings. You just click the download daily holdings, and that will give you an indication of what is actually being held within. What this allows you to do is take a quick snapshot and go and have a look and see which different stocks are within this grouping. So the 38 of them on here at the moment. It shows you how many shares are within the whole portfolio, what percentage it is, and then it gives you a breakdown into the sector and the industry classifications, which is quite useful to see how they've given you a certain amount of diversification. But we get to see diversification as well when we go and take a jump in to sector allocation. So this gives you a snapshot of it is very heavily into the financials and real estate, with about 45% being made up in those two sectors alone. Geographically, not very surprising, but it is UK based. Saying it is the UK Dividend Aristocrat ETF, that shouldn't come as a huge surprise. But what we do need to think about is that they trade all across the world. Some of the stocks that we have within here, with probably about 50% of their revenues coming from there. And then finally, just some of the key documents that we have. As I've said, I've done a different video that looks at the top 10 stocks within this ETF, and then I'll actually link to another video that I'm doing that, for a little bit of fun, pulls together a portfolio that has 5 of these stocks within it, and what you might manage to make if you were to invest £10,000 into it. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.